It was a kitchen and a shanty on the back.
Oh, that middle part was built first?
The middle part was built first.
You mean that door there with the diamond?
They built, this was our kitchen.
Yeah.
And then they had a shanty like built on the back. And then they finally put a screen porch. They had a screen porch here.
Well, this is June 16th and we're down at the Fred Stubbs home with Grace Stubbs Josie.
I'll tell you a story about those big windows out there.
All right.
See those, on that, where those windows come out over the top of the bay windows here?
Yeah, let me go over there and get a picture of it.
Well, Grandma had some, one time she had a couple of boarders, and the old guy Daly died.
Yeah.
So the only way they could get his body out was through those two doors up there. They had to let him out on rope, bring his body down on ropes.
Oh, really?
Yes, and then when we'd go up the stairway to bed at night, there was a hole up in the attic there, and Dilla'd always go first, then Clell, then Millie, and myself, and I was always on the end. And Mama said, when you get up there, but that hole, that Daly guy's going to come out with his big hand and grab you. She's always scary, and that's telling us this craziest thing.
Hey, it's open. Let's go in.
The stairs used to be on that side instead of here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on that side. That was our front room.
Oh, there's
And this is Grandma Stubbs' side, all this. And this side was our side. And then we had the stairway was over there, and they pulled it out and put it here.
Can you believe those kids did that to this room?
This was Grandma's front room.
Now, when you say grandma, you mean...
She had like that fireplace.
Do you mean Elizabeth?
We used to call this the parlor, Grandma's parlor. And it was only used on her birthday. She never let anybody in here only on her birthday.
Oh, really?
She had those green, and organ stood over there, and we had the velvet.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, it looked so much smaller.
They broke that window. They broke that window.
Here's Charlie. Watch out for that glass.
This was Grandma Stubbs' front room, Charlie. Look at the fireplace here. That's something.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, I don't know.
Was that... Is this all original, Grace? Was that little closet there?
This was her bedroom.
Yeah.
What there was. See, when you come in from our side, this was I slept here for years. This was my bedroom. And this was the hallway.
Out there, huh?
This was the hall.
Yeah.
And
Well-
this was the Grandma's bedroom, and I had it.
Oh, that's right.
After, yeah. And then this was the hallway down here.
So you knew Grandma?
This is the door this was our front room. It's all changed around. I can't figure it out.
No.
Yeah, they still got a stairs here.
Because nobody's been
See, they
here.
got two stairs. This is the original stair.
Good, yeah.
Was that banister there?
This was well, somebody come in here and busted it all. They had vandalized.
My God.
And when my sister Clell died, we had her casket over there with her. She was buried with the baby in her arms. She died of childbirth.
Where was that? Right in front of that window?
Yeah,
That was our front room.
yeah, that's that.
This is,
Look
This
at
was
that.
our front room, and Grandma had that side of the house.
is
And
this,
in here, you go down here, and this was Mama's bedroom.
Oh, for sure.
Where was her bed?
Look how small it looks now.
Does it?
And then that was our kitchen. And when we had the flu epidemic on, when World War was,
Yeah, somebody sure.
Yeah.
they declared what, Armistice Day.
Yeah.
Dad's bed was up here, and he was laying there with the flu, and we had a cot here, and Millie and I were in this bed. And so Mama said, here comes all the people up from the roundhouse. They're celebrating the end of the war. So I jumped out of bed, went to that step and fell flat on my face because I was weak with that 1918 epidemic of flu, I can't say it.
1918?
And then Uncle Dave Sutton, he'd go in that Sutton cafe and he'd bring our food to us. He brought Millie and I each a little American flag to wave around.
This?
This looks littler, doesn't it, than when you used to come here?
Yeah. Nobody's been here for a long time.
This is our kitchen.
It's like the,
This kitchen used to be big, and it's not now. And this used to be our pantry,
Where?
right here.
Let's see.
And then they had a shanty on that.
So this wall wasn't there?
Huh?
Was that wall there?
Yeah, we had a pantry in there.
Yeah.
Then we used to go down here to this was down here, like that's the cellar. Yeah. That was the cellar down here.
boy, it looks like it's for,
This is small now. Remember when you used to come over here courting me, Dad?
yeah.
What's it used to, oh, that's a big house. But look at it now, it's a lot smaller.
I know, but
Where was the
Oh, Bill.
where was the stove?
What?
Where was the stove?
Right here.
Describe
on the south
it.
wall.
What did it look like?
Yeah, that was, then Dad had cupboards built there, and our sink was there,
Where?
right here. And we had cupboards built here.
Boy,
We had a coal stove here. Then one morning, Charlie Stubbs, he was literally running around, I was about in 8th grade, he ran around the corner of the house and cut his head. And I was sitting here holding him at the high chair so they could watch him take the cows to the first word pasture. I fainted and hit me against the coal stove and burned my back, and I still got that scar.
And you and yours,
Yeah.
when you're killed, right?
Boy, I ate many a meal in here, I'll tell you.
Where was the table?
Right here in the middle, we had a big table here. We had Grandma's sideboard over there, and chairs.
How big was it?
Our table,
Yeah. How many would it seat?
I don't know, enough to sit 12 people down to it.
Huh.
We always had farm guys that worked on the farm with Dad, besides Grandma Stubbs always come in and ate dinner with us. Mama cooked 3 meals a day, cooked breakfast,
Yeah.
then we'd have a hot meal at noon and another one at night.
Nobody in it.
Wow.
We're always going all the time.
So you knew Grandma Stubbs, Elizabeth?
Pardon?
You knew Elizabeth?
Well, I guess. I'll say I used to have to go in there and sleep with her and keep her warm at nights in the shore of the dining room.
What was she like?
Just a little woman. She's deaf like me.
This shirt,
That's a turret, yeah.
Judy, there is,
Well, don't look at it.
it's just,
Well, see, they made this into apartments.
Did you grew up here, Grace? You were born here?
I was born here. All that, there was Alfred, Dylan, Cleo, and Millie, and myself, and Charlie and Louise was all born in that bedroom right there.
Is that right?
All right there. That's where we were all born.
Well, did you ever know Peter Stubbs?
Who?
Peter?
No, he was long gone.
Before?
She was only 16 years old when Grandpa married her, and he was 32.
Oh.
And he died when Della was a baby. So I never did know him, but I knew Grandma. Grandma, she used to have Elizabeth Taylor come down and do her housework on a Saturday. No, it's our cousin, not the movie star. And then she'd call me in, and I was only about 9 years old. She said, well, Elizabeth didn't get in the corners. You come and finish cleaning on. And she paid her $5, and I never got nothing.
boy, this shirt
was Mama's bedroom. That's where we were all born, right in that corner.
This is a good stuff.
And then in the front room,
Son.
Alfred and Cleo and Della and Millie was all married in that front room. Had all their weddings in there.
Alfred, Della, Cleo, and Millie.
Right.
But Louise, I don't know where Louise was married. And I was married to Temple. So we used to have roses all out there, and it was in June. Cleo was married on the 1st of June, and they used to have big chicken dinners and pork roast, and we had all the weddings. They'd have feeds when they had weddings then.
There's a person who put your phone.
Yeah.
Who?
This old man.
That's where I was born, over in that corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good tell.
This was a window.
Oh.
That door wasn't in here. That was 2 windows. Mama's dresser was here.
Good, how are you?
I know he's been.
We had Grandpa Stubbs' old
sorry
desk
about
up in
this
that
dropping,
corner. I don't know what happened to all that
That's
stuff.
okay.
What was there?
Here.
What was there?
That Grandpa Stubbs' old desk.
Oh.
We had all his, he had a bakery on here in Provo, and we had all his records and stuff in that desk. And I guess they're all buried out there under the cellar, all that stuff.
Well, it's not this cellar down here.
Not what?
Not this
Not
cellar.
like this cellar. We had a cellar that we used to keep all the potatoes and stuff in out there for the winter, our garden stuff, carrots. Then we had a granary out there that we had the thrashers would come every year and thrash. We'd bring the grain up and they thrash it out here. We'd cook for a week at a time. We fed them 3 meals a day for 3 days at a time. That's how much grain we thrashed.
Ah.
Was this a window here where the
That
door
a
was?
window. Then we used to go out that way. After they took that off, we had a door there, went out that way. They closed it all up.
So you lived on this side of the house.
We
And
even had little cat born in this closet here. We opened it one day and the cat had kittens in there. Mom said, "Oh, my take those out." And then there was a thing that opened up here,
yeah.
and Dad always used to keep alcohol. Well, we got it from the Uncle Frank's Headquist at the drugstore because they'd make their own camphor. And he'd keep it up there, and then we'd get this camphor and shave it off and make camphor. That's how we made our own camphor then. So he always had something stored up there. I can remember that.
Is that closet original then?
They went,
Is that closet original?
I guess so. You couldn't go to the store and buy camphor and stuff. So Uncle Frank's Headquist owned the
Some guy
drugstore,
wants to get in here.
and he'd always,
Some guy.
"What are you doing here?"
Oh, ma'am, I'm just passing by and I saw the man in the camera and that, and I get into old places as well. I'm a leprechaun by trade. I don't get pots of gold, I can't afford gold, I get wishes much cheaper than gold. If people believe I'm a leprechaun. And the only way to tell true leprechauns is they can't change my appearance, but they can change my voice.
So if you like Jerry Lewis, I can give you Jerry Lewis voicings. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high.
I'm not crazy, I'm just funny. Are you from Utah, ma'am?
This was
No,
her
I
house.
don't know who you are. Where'd you come from?
My mother.
I guess so. You must have had one. You would be barred.
No, but you're from Utah?
You bet, I believe it.
Yeah, I thought so. Utah people don't
Where are you
smile.
from?
Illinois.
Orem?
No, Illinois.
Oh.
I go all over the United States to make people laugh and smile. I sing, I play the guitar. I do impressions.
I did Jerry Lewis voicings. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high.
Paul Lenway says, Sammy, it's Uncle Arthur Wetch. I'm back and I love it. No, I passed by this place many times. And I've always, it's been a shame that people are damaging it like they are.
Somebody told us through.
Where do you live now?
I'm staying at the Roberts Hotel.
You do?
Yes, I do odd jobs. I'm a French window washer, a Jewish window washer, a Mexican window washer.
Are you a Jew?
No, I'm
Oh.
Polish, no. I make people laugh and smile. And I sing, I play my guitar. Would you like to sing these guys a song?
Who made your Afghan?
This was given to me by the King of the Leprechauns. Would you like to hear a song?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Like country western? Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together, all alone, all alone. Tell the man, turn the jukebox way down low. You can tell your friend there with you, have to go. Whisper to me, tell me, do you love me true? Is he kissing you the way I do? Thank you very much.
Yeah, let's do. Nice to meet you,
What's
Leprechaun.
your name?
Michael Thompson.
I'm Tommy Dorsett, not the favorite Tony. Tony's black, I'm white, he plays football and I don't.
See you later,
Thank you.
Tommy.
Bye.
Grace, is that fireplace original?
Was this original, Grace, the fireplace?
No, that is that. She had that put there. There is a fireplace there, all right, but I mean, but that wasn't on there. It was just a mantle. We used to we had a coal stove here, and hot blast coal stove. We used to hang our stockings on there for Christmas.
Oh.
That's a pretty mantle there, isn't
Yeah.
it?
We used to have a Christmas tree in that corner.
With real candles.
But
With real candles?
oh, we had real candles on the tree, but we didn't dare light them.
Oh, really? What were the floors? Shay, you got to ask the questions because I'm busy following her.
That guy's weird. Charlie, you want to go upstairs? This is the stairway we used to go up all the time. Let's see, they tore this wall out here.
Watch out for that leprechaun.
There's a wall here.
Right here where this railing is?
Is this good original?
And then this was the hall.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they have a hall here. That's a fireplace, but we never ever opened it.
Michael, Charlie's coming out. Wait, this gets steep.
Well, that's where we used to go in the door, and they got the opposite side. We had this was a bedroom, and this was a bedroom.
Oh, really?
And we used to have the walls whitewashed. We had one bed on this end and then on that end. And we stored apples down in that room. So one night, Alfred was sleeping up in this end of the bed. Well, he came in. He had his bedroom up there, but he came in and got apples. And we stood on that end and this end. We threw apples, and then Mama came up the next day. All these apples were all over the walls, and we sure caught it.
Whose bedroom was this one?
Yeah.
Who's-
Well, we change around. I slept in this bedroom too, and also in that bedroom.
Oh. You'd switch bedrooms.
Sure changed it around a lot.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
There was 2 brothers and 5 girls in the family. Alfred was the oldest, then Della, and Cleo, and Millie, and I was number 5. And then Charlie and Louise. There was 7 of us. 2 boys and 5 girls.
Huh.
You'll be walking. You better sit down.
I gotta go down.
Yeah, this is, see, they changed this around. This was the hall. Do you want to go out and sit in the car?
Yeah.
I'll take you out.
Yes.
I hope you can get in my car and take my purse. Hang on to that.
I'm doing that, God, I can't. There.
Sherry, go help him. I'm filming.
I gotta go see if I left my purse there. Hope that guy wasn't in his house. You know, they find vacant houses.
I know.
And his hands were dirty and everything.
Well, he's a leprechaun. So, how about this little back extension right there? Was that Grandma Elizabeth's?
That half was Grandma's house.
So they added that
was
on.
her kitchen right there.
When did they build her an apartment? Before you were born?
Well, it was just her side. She lived in that side. Then we had all this in the upstairs.
Oh.
Can you drink a little bit, though? And then we can
Sit up
set
and
it
drink
down.
it.
You don't need to drink all of it.
Just sit there and sit
That
down.
was the smallest size. Just sit down.
Sherry, before I put it on standby, do I turn it off?
No, you can just put on somewhere. Wait it go on.
Well, that's a good. I wonder what they're gonna do with that house.
I don't know. That was a bed and breakfast. You knew that.
Not since they done that. I was in there all the time when I was a kid.
Were they rich?
No, he was a salesman. And the mother died when they were real young. And Marge and Bessie and Mary and all lived there. And then he died, and Sherman, son. There was 3 girls and a boy. And then after they moved, kids all got married, and then, I don't know, then somebody bought it and turned it into apartments. And then that second floor, Rakers lived up there, and Jack and Effie lived there, and we used to go there and play chopsticks on the piano.
Oh, so it was
We rented that half the house after Grandma died to chapel. And they had a player piano in there, and we'd go in there and play that player piano, and about wore it out.
Oh, really?
And that Roy was a mean cuss. He's the same age as I was. And he used to go with that Darrell Wiles that lived over there. And so I don't know, they'd tease him and tore my dress once. So I thought, well, I'm going to lay low back of that house. And when that kid comes over, I'm going to get him and I'm going to tromp him. So he come there and was standing there talking, and I snuck out from the corner of that house there and grabbed him, threw him on the ground, and sit on him and pounded him.
How old were you?
I was about 8 years old. We used to have then what we used to do every year when the circus came to town, I told you about Lucille Woodhead and them that lived in Midvale.
Yeah.
Well, they'd come down every year for the circus, and we had this big red barn out here, and they'd plaster it with circus things, and we'd get reserved seats.
Oh.
And so we'd
Why?
sleep
Because
out on that front porch at night.
yeah.
And Miss Maureen Woodhead, she's real big and fat. And we had a path that came up over there, and a lilac bush. Somebody put a string across there, and she caught her neck, and it hurt her. So Mama always made us have a bath in the tin tub before, if this is circus, 4th of July. So she finally told Maureen it was her turn to have a bath. So Mama put water. She sit in the water, ran all over the floor. That was something else. And then we used to have bums come up here from the railroad and sleep in our barn, and they'd come and want to sleep in the barn, and Dad says, well, you can sleep out there providing you don't have cigarettes because it's full of hay. And then another thing we used to when we were kids, we used to have the gypsies come.
Oh, really?
And we'd see the gypsies come, we'd run and lock all the doors and everything. Then they'd come out and want stuff, so Mom would sneak up, give them a loaf of bread and tell them to get out and go up the street. And then one of the gypsies went out by the old Arid Hospital, and she had her baby in the curb and gutter there. Took it off and washed it in the ditch out there.
Gee.
And Uncle Dave Sutton, when the gypsies come to town, boy, he'd hurry up and Lucky's store won't let them in because they run in there and they wore those big full colored skirts and stuff, and they'd stick everything in it, and they'd have to get the police there and take all the stuff away from them. Yeah, we used to have gypsies all the time.
Really?
You don't hear of them anymore.
Not here.
When I talked about telling Mrs. Chuck, she says, "Oh, Grace, do you write everything that down in your history?" She says, "I don't remember all that stuff like you did when you was a kid."
That's good. You remember. That's so
Well,
fun.
and then when the circus come to town, see where that service station sits? We had a big tin elephant there. They put the calliope there and play music all day long, and the circus parade would come up past here. Boy, that was we had 3 circuses a year, and Dad rented all that alfalfa field to him.
Where was the alfalfa field?
So that old white elephant, I sure wish I had a picture of that.
Where's the alfalfa field?
It's right on the corner.
Oh, where that service station is?
Yeah, right here on this corner. That used to be our, see, this was quite a hill. It wasn't look big, but it's little, but we used to sleigh ride on it and have an ice skating pond down there.
How fun.
Was
We had one
was there
pair
any
of
lawn?
skates, and Mom and Dad always went on Wednesday night to the vaudeville. So old Bill Taylor'd come down, and one of us would put on the ice skates, then we'd all get back of him and run around. Then we'd come in the house and play games, and we'd make honey candy, because that's the only candy we could ever make then. We never bought candy. And Whitehead's had a grocery store on the corner, and if we wanted some candy, we'd go out in the barn, get a couple of eggs, and trade it for candy up at the store.
Oh,
Well, it's the only money we had.
Now, who's Whiteheads again, and how are you related? Say that again.
No, they were just neighbors.
Oh, how about Barbara Winder, though?
Walt Whitehead just died. He was 88. It was in the Provo paper. He was the senator. He was our bishop for about 20 years. And he's also commissioner. And we used to run up. I'll show you Whitehead's house if we go up that way.
All right. Should we go back in and finish the tour?
Huh?
Should we go
Yeah,
back
let's
in?
go back. So we
will
won't-
he be okay?
He's all right now.
Take good breath.
What you want?
We're going back up.
Okay, we're
to
going
finish
back
the
in. We
tour,
hadn't
'cause
finished the
Charlie
tour.
Got sick when we were going upstairs. His heart started beating fast. He almost fainted.
His heart beat too fast, so I had to
Where is
put
he?
him in the
He's in the
field.
car.
Grace, that porch there is not original, is it? Right in front of you. Kathy, you got to stay out of the way.
Is this porch original?
This porch wasn't here. Just that. We just had steps here and steps coming out of there. It had this. This was our front room. I have to tell you a story about that, what happened once too, but I don't want it on there. My gosh, that's our original old Virginia creeper. It's still growing.
Is it really?
We had Virginia creeper all over the house.
Is that what turns red in the fall? Turns red in the fall?
Yeah, we used to have it all growing all over the house.
That tree?
You know, those curtains are worth something.
Are those original?
Oh,
No.
that kind of curtains are worth a lot of money.
Are these doors original?
That isn't the door it was here.
So interesting how she tells us. We're going through the wrong way. So we have to go back upstairs.
Grace, is this wood casing?
Yeah, that's the original. That's all original wood. Yeah.
Michael, are you putting
Well,
that down?
describe this room to us. Describe this room.
Is
This was
the
Grandma's. All this side of the house was Grandma Stubbs's. And we lived on that side.
Elizabeth.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This was, she never only opened this on her birthday. And when she died, we had her casket over there. They had an organ. They moved it over here and put her casket there.
We're right in that corner.
And Billy and I would stay here that night. We were scared. And yet I sit here the day before Grandma died and talked to her. And she said, "Well, I'm going to die, Grace." And I said, "No, you're not." she went in that, the day after, she went in that bedroom and all the aunts and that came down, and Della was working at Sutton's. She wanted Della to always comb her long hair. So she got up and they dressed her and everything. She sit there. Della come and combed her hair, and she went and laid back on her bed and talked to her, and she says, well, I'm going, and she raised up, and I was standing at the foot of her bed, and she said, God bless you all, and laid back and died. That's the first person I ever saw die.
How old was she?
81.
Huh.
How old were you?
She did what she did. She died of heart failure, and they didn't have ways to give pills to take water out of them. And she had a big water blister come on, and it broke.
Oh.
Drowned her. Oh.
That's the original fire.
How old were you, Grace?
I was 10 then.
10? Okay, now let's go
And this was the hallway.
into the hallway. None of these walls.
Grandma, you know,
None of these.
she used to always wear house slippers that were, she'd go along, you hear walking here on this, there was no carpet on here, you could hear the sound of her house slippers. And I used to, when I turned this into my bedroom, I wonder if Grandma's walking down the hall tonight.
So none of what were on each side of the walls here, Grace?
Well, this was a kitchen, they put a wall there. This was the kitchen.
So that wall wasn't there,
This
huh?
was the dining room. This was the dining room. And she had one of those dining room stoves that you lift, you've seen the lift up in front was like a fireplace. And then that was the clothes closet, and they had to put a toilet in there for her.
Oh, really?
And we had, the day after Grandma died, all the aunts were here. They tore her rug out and divided it in pieces. And here come a big cyclone, and there was great big trees back here. And it uprooted those trees, and Roy Stubbs and my cousin was out in that big tree in front. And we ran in the house, and as we opened the door, it lifted the linoleum up off the floor. And so Mama said, oh, I guess Grandma's coming back and raising Cain with everybody because they're tearing her house apart. It was the day after we buried her. This was the kitchen. See, they put that wall here. That was all kitchen. And then
Ask her what ants came back.
this is the pantry. They got the stove. This was the pantry right here.
Which ants came
And that
back?
was the old kitchen door.
Grace,
See, they put this wall in here because they made apartments out of it.
which ants came back that day?
Huh?
Which ants came back?
All the aunts, all her,
Her ants. Do you know their
my
names?
dad's sisters, Aunt Em and Aunt Fanny, and all of them.
Oh, I can't
Come back
see.
the next day, and Aunt Nora was up, and Aunt Nora got that stove, and she took it out there, was cleaning out the chimney pipe, and the wind come along, took the toilet up, and our old wood shed, and put it over to Sparks' lot.
I didn't know they had that big of wind.
Yeah,
cyclone.
we did. I don't know.
We have-
So this wall right here behind this fridge wasn't there.
No.
That wall's been put in here.
Was that door there?
Well, this is the original door.
How about the door? How about that door?
This is the pantry. You had to open the door and had the pantry.
Where was the stove? In this other room?
The stove was about right here, over in here, about here. Right where this was. They had both the stoves in here and there, about the same flue.
All right.
That's it.
How about upstairs? We didn't do
We
those
didn't-
2 bedrooms
yeah, we
upstairs.
didn't do-
Oh, we
Finish
missed
up
2
there.
bedrooms up there, didn't we? Well, and that was the clothes closet here, and then just had a toilet there for Grandma. They didn't have a full bathroom then like we have now. It's cold in it. This is always a cool house.
Yeah.
How was it in the winter?
Well, we
Cold?
cold stoves, yeah. We never had any upstairs. We used to get the old flat irons off the stove and wrap them up to keep her feet warm. Put them in bed.
That's why you slept with Grandma Stubbs, to keep her
Pardon?
warm, huh? You slept with Grandma Stubbs to keep her warm?
I slept with Grandma Stubbs in here in the wintertime to keep her warm.
Really?
She always had to have her hot bread and milk before she went to bed every night. And we always made homemade bread, but she always bought baker's bread, and all that was so good because it was different homemade. You know, you didn't get baked out of the store then like you do now.
Yeah.
Then she used to have her sideboard standing right there, and she always bought these social tea crackers and put in the bottom, and when we do something for her, she'd take the key of them and give us each a cracker. Boy, those crackers were good. She didn't go to the store and buy stuff like you do now.
She just hid it away for special days. What was this? Closets?
This was all a big
My
hallway.
gosh, I take that and that guy comes back, I'll hit him. Oh, we gotta go over here. Now that's worth a lot of money.
Oh, I
'Cause
know.
they've taken that out of an older home.
What happened in here?
I wish I could buy that.
Those are nice.
Let's just take it. Is that original?
Those are nice curves.
Michael, this wasn't original, right?
No, that fireplace? Mantle?
Yeah, she had a stove in here. Is this the parlor? Where was the parlor?
What was that? They broke the chandelier. That's where that come from, huh?
Yeah. Is that door original? With that
No,
oval?
That's,
No?
we just had a little square window like this. Then
Oh.
we used to have here, we'd hang our clothes and then go upstairs.
So this is the original staircase?
Oh, this is a new one.
This
It's
is-
not the same one.
It's
We
not-
had a wall here. It was all closed in. There's a wall.
Oh, okay.
We never used them. But one time when Grandma and them, years ago, I guess, when they first had this. Well, see, Grandma, he brought his second wife here. Then he had Grandma live up above his stores there, you know, where Taylor Brothers Company and all that was on Main Street. Well, he had a bakery there and everything, Grandpa stuff. Then Grandma lived upstairs. Then, he had kind of a farm out here, and so the two aunts, Aunt Han, and Aunt Em went out and got straw, made of a new straw stick. They sleep on, they just made tick. And so he took it for his new wife, and they never did get over that. No, they hated cleaning. That's where they went around. Grandma Stubbs was always bitter.
Oh, really?
But you know that Dad and Aunt Edna Smoot were 6 weeks apart, and Grandma delivered all Aunt Ann's kids, the second wife's kids. And after she had Dad, and she had to go over and help deliver Aunt Edna Smoot. 6 weeks apart.
Oh. That was Ann Ride's boy, huh?
Well,
Or
this was
girl.
a big room. It looks little now.
Whose was it?
Oh, well, it used to be over there. It was extended over there, that's why.
No,
This is made an apartment. That's original.
that little window?
Now, these were the doors I told you they had to take that old man Daly's body out of. They let him down over ropes. He died up here. They had boarders. Well, she had 2 or 3 guys lived here at one time. And I don't know whether it's friends of the family, but he died up here, and Dad said the only way he was a big guy, and the only way they could get him out, they couldn't go down that stairway to get him out, so they slid him out there.
A slide. Dropped him in the hearse, huh?
Gosh.
Were you rich?
She doesn't hear me.
You're looking at King.
Were you rich, Grace?
Grace, were you rich? Did you guys have a lot of
Oh.
money?
Heck no, not if I had to go get eggs and go get me a piece of candy.
How come your house was so big if you're not rich?
When we get hungry, we just go out in the garden and pull carrots and stuff. I guess that's how we got our vitamins. We never had money to spend.
Why is
Yep.
your house so big then?
If you're poor.
If you're poor, why was your house so big?
Well, this was Grandma's house.
Oh.
Was she rich?
No, Grandpa he was rich at one time,
Oh, that's.
and old Senator Reed Smoot cheated him out of a bunch of money. Bought stock and stuff. Oh, he was a crook. Boy, if there ever was one, he was one.
Really?
They made him apostle of the church.
Oh, really? What's this? Oh,
See, the wall went over there. They put this,
Whose bedroom was this?
huh?
Whose bedroom was this?
Well, it was ours.
You don't.
Cleo and Della slept in this bed, Millie and I slept on that bed. That was the fireplace. This fireplace here come from the front room downstairs. That used to be a fireplace.
Did you use it?
We never used them. No, they were too old. And this was
What's
Alfred's.
it make 'em now?
how old was this house when they? How old was this house
Oh,
when you
this
came?
was Alfred's room.
You gotta scream.
That wasn't in here. This was Alfred's room. And that was where you went into Alfred's room.
Oh, right here?
And we had those windows. They put a different window, but there's two windows in there like that. And now you can still look out on the roof. Jeez.
That's when they added the kitchen for your grandma?
What, the kitchen down?
Yeah, that's the
That's
kitchen.
the kitchen. They put all this in here. This was built out. You can see where it's built out from the wall. Yeah, this was Alfred's bedroom.
He had his own bedroom?
Yeah.
Spoiled?
Where was Charlie's?
Well, where did he sleep in here after he was born too when he got older? He slept downstairs on the couch when he was little.
Who slept in that step-down bedroom?
We change off in bedrooms. We had different. Then we took in Wyola. It was Uncle Bert's stepdaughter, and she had this baby out of wedlock. She worked for Hotel Roberts. And Betty was born in May 19th, and Louise was born July the 11th. And this Betty, we'd walk the floor, and Wyola, we'd give her one of the beds, and Millie and I moved in that other bedroom, and they'd walk the floor with that kid. They couldn't get food to agree with her, so finally when Mama had Louise, she nursed Betty. And then Wyola went somewhere and left Betty with us, and we kept her till she's almost 2 years old. Then she came back and took Betty, and to this day we don't know where they went. But Wyola was relation to the blacks down in Delta, Utah, and I don't know what happened to her either. It was Uncle Bert's second wife's stepchild or something. I don't know. It's a big step. We always had somebody living with us besides our own family. We had Bill Stubbs live with us. We had
Who's that?
our cousin from Gunnison. He come up to work on the farm. They're all long gone now.
Oh,
You know, Rhea Taylor said, "Grace, have you got some of Grandpa Stubbs' books and stuff?" And I said, "No." She says, "Well, we always wondered where they went to." And I said, "Well, I don't know where they went. Della took a lot of books up to her house, and what they done with them, I don't know."
What was out this window, Grace?
Huh?
What was out this window?
What was out of it?
Yeah. What
Our
was?
garden was all, that was our lot. That hole was our big lot. We used to have a garden out there.
Vegetable garden?
Yeah, we even raised peanuts one time. Potatoes and corn. And then when they had to change the Sparks' into an apartment house, there was a couple moved in there by the name of Smalley's.
Uh-huh.
And he was a barber uptown in Denver's barber shop, and he came on. So we used to go over and see her. She was a real fragile woman. We'd sit on the lawn and talk to her. And one night, we were all out here in the yard, Millie and myself and some of our friends playing. And all of a sudden, we heard somebody was over in corn patch, stealing corn. And so we screamed and yelled at them. They took off. Well, the next day, we went over to this Sparks. Effie lived upstairs, a friend of ours, and we noticed that one door was open and Smalley's had moved out in the night. They took off, and that was who stole our corn, because we found some of the corn in the front room. And they left 3 or 4 months rent and took off. Like out in the night. That's what they were doing when we heard all that noise. They were getting corn and stuff to take with them, I guess, so if they had to cook on the way, whatever happened to them, I don't know. Then another time, every time I look out of that window over there, Millie and I woke up in the middle of the night and we could see the sky was red, and we ran to the window, and it was Uncle Charlie and Uncle Tom's barns over there was on fire, and that was the time when they had the horses on the fire engine. And they were trying to, their whole place, and it burned all the horses. We ran downstairs, and Mom says, "You can't go over there." I said, "Well, Della and Cleo were over there, why can't?" She wouldn't let us go. And they fought that fire all night long, and they burned about 6 horses, and those dead horses the next day. It was just terrible. They had to hurry up and bury them. But we could hear these horses just screaming. And it was Dad's team. Dad sold them a team of horses to pull a fire engine. Can you imagine that?
His own horses, huh? How sad.
If I keep going, I'll tell you too much.
No, you'll never tell us too much.
But when you're sitting out that window, we both got there and kneeled, and we just scared to death, and we was howling up to each other, could see that fire out there. When you see it come in the house, things bring you back memory. Well, is that it?
How did
Gosh,
this stairway wasn't even here? Did you know that, Kathy, on the right?
they even jerked that down, didn't they?
Yeah. Are all 3 of these windows original? They were there?
These, no. They were 4 panes, little.
But I mean, there were windows.
Oh,
windows
the original window,
Even that little one?
but not the glass. Yeah, that's a new one. They put that in. That was never. But there used to be a hole right here. And that's when Mama used to scare us and say that Daly guy that died would be up there and get his hand down. And you know what Mama did once? She came upstairs. When she knew he was already getting, we didn't have a light to turn on, and she went in that hallway because we was going into that bedroom to sleep, and she put a sheet on him, and Della got there. Grandma stepped out, and Della just screamed, and she went black in the face, and we had to work with her to bring her to. And that's the last time Mama pulled any. She's always pulling things on us like that, trying to scare us. She's always doing something. You wouldn't think of scaring your kids that way, would you?
Yeah, that's funny. She just telling
What about this step-down bedroom?
Sherry told us about this, I think.
That was the bedroom.
Yeah, and you threw apples or stored apples in there?
Well, see, we had a bed up here and one there. We changed beds around all the time. We was always moving from one room to another. I was thinking of this bedroom the other night. Up here, I had my dresser here.
Was it a fun house to grow up in? Was it a fun?
I was here till I got married, till I was 23 years old.
Really?
Was it a fun house?
I don't know what I guess it was. There's always people in and out. We used to have our friends that even come here and eat Sunday dinner. And Mama always had a rolled roast on Sunday.
Well, what were your mom and dad like? Tell us about them. I never knew your dad, and I don't even remember your mom.
Oh, you wouldn't. You're too little.
I remember Grandma.
Well, Dad had a real hot temper. We always went to Mom for everything.
Oh, that sounds like us.
Yeah, Dad was always, boy, when he said you'd be home at 9 o'clock, you better be home. Or else. So, I don't know. Mama was always easy going. She was real, she was different. Dad was always hot tempered.
What was Millie like?
What?
Would Millie do farm work?
Yeah, she did, but they always picked on me. Millie was always favored over me.
Oh, really?
Yes, every time somebody needed help, it was always Grace had to go do it.
Oh. Gotta do all the work, huh?
Yeah. When any of the aunts needed help, like Aunt Eve, when she got sick, it was always Grace that had to go do it.
How come?
Anyhow.
Oh, brother.
She should show us that backyard, Michael. Tell us,
Yeah,
find that cellar.
explain all the fields and stuff out here. Where the fields were.
Oh, you mean down to the,
Could you see
where
the
we had our farm.
Could you see the farm from here?
No, you can't see it from here.
Oh.
Yeah, we
Was it
had to
over
go
the
down
bridge?
there and
Was it
dig.
over that
Well, do
bridge?
you want to buy this house?
That was,
We need
wasn't
this
ever
house.
here. It was all flat. What do you want?
Was your mom a good cook?
Oh yeah, Mom was a good cook.
Are you?
No.
Yes, you are.
Millie, that's where we got a habit of always having to have a roast on Sunday and everything, because one thing about it, we had a lot of good food, so we raised a lot of our stuff and everything.
So you'd have roast every Sunday?
Always had roast. We always had a big dinner. We always had a rolled roast, a big one went long.
Every Sunday?
We always had everything. And then Mom used to cook those good potatoes all around it. I used to hate to have to go out in the garden and pick the beans and snip the beans and pick the corn, shuck the corn.
Worked hard, huh?
It's nothing to do or bored or something. We didn't know what that was. There's always something. And then at night, the Zabriskie kids and all those kids up there on the 4th East always come down, and we always played Run My Sheepy Run.
How do you play that?
Hide in the barns. And, we always played games and stuff. Kids don't do that like we used to. We made our own fun.
Yeah, you didn't sit in front of TV all day and all
Yeah.
night, huh?
We used to go ice skating. I used to skate once, but I sure couldn't stand on it now. Well, I better go check Charlie.
Yeah.
Keep him living. And Grandpa died in this house too.
Did he buy the farm from Peter Stubbs, or did he
No,
just, they gave it to him?
He never did buy it until he died. Grandma died, and she should have given the farm to Dad. Instead of that, she had in her will to sell the farm and divide it equally. After Dad stayed he never went out anywhere else and worked, because he stayed here to keep the farm going, to keep Grandma living. And then when the Depression come along, Dad didn't ever have any money or nothing. He lost it for taxes. Took all the farm down there, everything. Went around the Democrat. I went through that.
So all that working on those fields.
Yeah, all those years and lost everything.
just lost it.
That's a sad deal. Dad really died of a broken heart. He died at 66. That's really always what. See, then they had to go out here and take the old granary and make a house. First they had to move everything out in that coal shed. And they put some boards on that ground floor and put the coal. I was married then. And put a coal stove and a couch. And then finally, they got the granary, went in and fixed the old granary up and made you saw that. You remember, you don't remember
I
that
don't
old house.
remember
They made
it.
a
You
little-
probably do.
She did.
Yeah,
I've seen.
When Charlie got out of the Army, they didn't have a bathroom or anything in there. So when he got his mustering out pay, he took that money and put a bathroom in there for Mom.
Your husband or
No,
your brother?
my brother Charlie.
Well, how come she got to live there? Didn't they take that?
Well,
all
what
that?
happened, Dad had Bert Thurman as a lawyer from Salt Lake. And when they foreclosed on this place, they did include that 1 acre back there. And it was left right off the thing, so that was Dad. So Dad just moved over on that, and they didn't even have it on the thing, on the, what do you call them?
On the tax rolls?
Deed?
When you had your deed, it
Oh.
wasn't on the deed.
You mean all he had to pay was his taxes and they foreclosed?
He couldn't even pay taxes on this house.
The house was already paid for?
Well, no, because they divided it. Dad bought the house and the farm, and then he got the money and paid all other folks. Then it got so when the Depression came, he never had enough. The reason he lost the farm is because he had no money to buy seed and that to replant the farm. And it just, then they had kind of a drought and things just died. It was a mess. So after Mom and them raised all those kids and lived here all our life and lost, it was something we go through all the time.
Was she heartbroken too?
Well, sure, they didn't know what to do. It was awful. How would you like that? Live in your house now and you have to live in a coal shed. That wouldn't be much fun, would it?
And your dad was a hard-working man.
Oh yeah, he really was. He came out and stayed with me a week before my boy was sick with kidney trouble and So he came out and he dug up all that back lot in our old house on 45th, planted a garden. Then he came home and he planted him one, then he went out to Alfred's to borrow the cultivator. And while he was there, he had this heart attack.
How old were you?
Well, my Gary was 10 years old. He died that April. He died right after Dad had his heart attack. He died on April the 27th, and Dad died June the 16th, on the day after Father's Day. And I was up in Millie's house. I'd come down, and they called Millie. And Millie come in screaming and said, Dad's dead, Dad's dead. And I had to call Millie down because she just go to pieces. And we came down and Mama had been in they still had the shanty on the side, built a lean-to for the coal stove. And they had that other fixed as a bedroom and a front room. And Mama went out to make Dad, she said, they give him coffee to stimulate his heart. And anyhow, she said, don't make me any coffee, make me some toast or hot chocolate this morning. So he said, give me my glasses and the newspaper. So Mama handed him his glasses and the paper, put it on that little table by him. He could just sit up, he couldn't lay down because he's full of water. And then Mama come in to bring his breakfast. He picked his glasses up and hadn't even picked the paper up, and he just died like that. That blood clot, I guess, whatever, moved over. Well, let's go see what Charlie. Mama died at the age of...
How old is she?
How old are you?
78.
Really? Oh my gosh, you're so like a little young killer. You're skinny as a rail.
Yes.
Skinnier than me.
Gosh, that's the first time I've seen that Virginia creeper in years.
Does that bring back memories? Was it a noisy street when you were little?
We call it
Interurban? This was all on.
we couldn't even get 10 cents to go on that Orem to go to Park Crochet, so we walked the tracks to carry our babies and walk clear to Park Crochet and walk back. Go swimming.
Really?
I mean, we didn't have to. See, we kept so busy doing everywhere we go, we'd have to walk, time was... Now I hear kids nowadays, all they do is sit in front of the television and eat.
What was it?
Our garden, we had, after he didn't, that was too much for him, so he had roses all planted here, and he had the garden right here. That's where all our barns stood.
Where was the granary?
Huh?
Where was the granary?
About where that is.
How big was it?
Where that-
About that same size?
They put that there. That was about where Mama's house was.
Was it bigger than that?
Oh, it was about that size.
Well, who moved in here?
Oh, they
Doing
I
okay?
don't know who bought it. They made it into apartments. I don't know who it is. And they rented it out. And then when they all moved out, that lady come and bought it, and they all moved out, and she remodeled it. See, that changed it all around. I was thinking about that old cellar out here.
Yeah, let's find that.
I don't think there's any trace of it.
Were these trees here?
Yeah, they were smaller though. You can see, look.
Stinks out here.
The cellar would be about right in here. Because the big hay barn was here and the coal shed was there, and the other big barn that kept the horses right there. Our lot went right to there. Right.
The cellar was down through here
They
then.
must have sold that part that we had our garden on, and that was all ours. Clear over to Sparks, that was ours.
Clear over.
Yeah. Think what Dad lost.
I'll bet he was just sick.
Oh, it was terrible. I don't know how he ever lived as long as he did.
Did he ever talk about it?
Oh, sure.
Was he a Democrat?
He was a staunch Republican. And then, boy, after that it was Roosevelt everything. The hell with the Republicans. They never done nothing for him all his life. They just ruined him. He didn't like Weeks moved because cheated Grandpa out of so much stuff.
Huh.
You in there?
Yeah.
I can back up.
Right there.
What are you gonna do, Kathy? You gonna go back home?
I guess. What are you guys doing?
Well, later on we're gonna go eat. What we gonna do now?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, we should go now. I want to see his house before we go home.
You want to go there now? Or do you want
Well,
to go
we
eat
can do
now?
that on the